We're going to talk about The Boss Baby. Try our best.
We could just cut the beginning in. How are we starting?
Yep.
Yeah?
Let me get some headphones.
Okay. We are ready to go.
Welcome to Boltus Bros Podcast. My name is Jerem. This is
Yeah, my name is Kenny.
we're brothers. We're doing a podcast, kind of videoing. We call it a podcast because we feel so cool in this room, but actually it's just YouTube videos.
Yeah, you should all try on these headphones. These headphones really make you feel like you're in a different world.
Yeah, it really makes a difference. Last week we talked about Godzilla, and we talked about Godzilla 2014, and then a little bit of other Godzilla movies. So we're on a trend of being behind in movies, and this week we're going to talk about The Boss Baby.
Yeah, quite a change from Godzilla. I think we made a list of like 20 different movies that we were going to watch.
Well, yeah, we
didn't watch any of them.
We made a list. We thought, hey, if we make a list of 10 movies, and then whenever we feel like this is the one I want to watch, we'll watch that one. We ended up watching none of those, and we ended up watching The Boss Baby together.
Yep.
So
I don't even know how it came up.
well, here's how it came up.
Okay.
I was scrolling through Roku, and it said on Roku that it was number 6 in movies today, and then Netflix said it was number 4 in movies today. So in 2024, a movie from when did it come out? 2016, I think.
Something like that.
I think it was 2016 or 17.
8 years ago.
Yeah. It's number 4 in movies, which is interesting about how Netflix, if it's free on Netflix, it's going to be one of the top movies.
Yeah, but I mean, for good reason. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
And a throwback. I mean, I feel like nobody really talks about The Boss Baby anymore, but it's actually like such a good movie.
Yeah, it's interesting how movies will come back through session, because Kung Fu Panda 4 came out recently, but it wasn't one of the top 10 movies, at least on their list. They're probably biased. I don't know how that list really works, but Kung Fu Panda 4, you have to pay $20 to watch it, and then The Boss Baby is free if you have Netflix already. So people are jumping on that again.
Yeah, I mean, for good reason. It's a good movie, but I took notes during it. I think you did too, right?
Yeah, I took some, but mostly it was just enjoyable.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a movie that you don't really think. I had to think to myself, oh, I got to write this down, otherwise I'm not going to remember it. But I really just wanted to close it and just watch.
Yeah. Yeah. There is definitely reasons why, other than being put on Netflix, that it's still a watchable movie,
right?
And that, a cartoon that stuck around, a cartoon that made its own TV show. There's a few reasons why it's definitely watchable, definitely sticks around, and that I think one of my main reasons, I have one, but
I'll go for it.
Okay, yeah, one of the main thing that I noticed from the movie is even when it was very small, it always had a promise and a payoff. And this is something that Brandon Sanderson talks about all the time. So that's something I always look for in movies.
And for those of you who don't know, Brandon Sanderson, great book writer.
Yeah. He was probably going to have some movies out coming soon.
Right.
So we'll be on that right away. We won't be late to that.
No, that'll be the day after it comes out.
Yeah. We won't do it 10 years later like The Boss Baby. But yeah, he talks a lot about promises and payoffs a lot. And so there's a lot of parts in this movie with promises and payoffs, which is why it works. So I wrote down a few of them. So, for example, at the very beginning, he's having a conversation. The main character is having a conversation with the Boss Baby. And the Boss Baby mentions, you still ride with training wheels, he says. And so when you hear something like that, it could be just like an offhand comment, It doesn't
Yeah.
have to come back.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to come back.
Yeah.
But then it comes back later, like, he doesn't need his training wheels anymore. You know,
Right.
becomes like a little bit of character development moment,
Right.
which was the weaker one of the two
Mhm.
that I noticed. But at least still, that scene had something from the very beginning that was built into it, so that, and somehow that's very satisfying.
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what your second one is, because I had an idea, or that thought maybe come to a connection, but maybe, well, I'll talk about your second one first, and then I'll
Well,
see if,
I have a few more.
oh, you have a few more, okay. Well, maybe I'll go then.
Okay.
I was thinking with the blocks.
The blocks. Okay, yeah.
'Cause I
didn't
didn't
write
even-
that one down.
For me, it was not necessarily a noticeable promise, because I think it was the scene where he first discovered the baby
Mhm.
could talk and could do all these things, right? And he's explaining his whole business plan or whatever, and saying with the whatever that baby toy is where you move blocks side to side,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, eventually, there's not enough love to go around for the both of us,
Yeah.
right? With these blocks,
Yeah.
and that's the example. And then later at the very end of the movie, when he sends the letter to Boss Baby, and he opens the box and then it's full of blocks,
Mm-hmm.
right? That felt like the promise and the payoff.
Mhm.
But it's not a promise that you even knew about until it happened or
Mhm.
was fulfilled.
Yeah, and I think the more you watch movies, the more you can just pick up on the things that people are planting,
Mhm.
so that you feel satisfied later.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think of the blocks specifically going to be the payoff,
Right.
but I did notice the phrase where the parents say, "You love him with all your heart."
Right. I actually wrote that down, with all our heart.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
all your heart.
Yeah.
And so that's like the main lesson of the movie is you can love one person with all your heart and another person with all your
Right.
heart.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your other?
The other payoffs was cookie for the fat baby.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
didn't let him have cookies. Now he lets him have cookies.
Right.
You know, little payoff, little character development. And then the other one was interesting because they happened really soon together.
Mm-hmm.
It was when Templeton and Boss Baby were sitting on the plane together, and they were imagining playing pirates together.
Oh yeah.
And then basically the scene right afterwards, which was the climax,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, "Arg!"
Right.
You know, it defeats the bad guy.
Right.
Which I was thinking they were very close together, but at least they had a
Yeah.
connection.
Well, I guess also though the scene before, where he's originally learning to go R, that is also a payoff in itself. That scene.
The plane, or was there one before that?
I think it was the plane.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
the one you were talking about, the first
Yeah.
one.
They were
Right.
very close together. The plane scene and then the climax.
Right. But the plane scene was a payoff in itself, I feel like, to them working together. Right.
Yeah.
And so, those two were together and close, but it was a payoff to before of they couldn't work together, and now they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Boss Baby was learning how to use his imagination.
Right, exactly. And be a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the main one, of
Mhm.
course, at least for me, was the song, which
Yeah.
kept coming back.
Yeah.
Which, I was actually thinking about it, and I was feeling more impressed with what they did with the song
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that it's a kids show
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't need any explaining,
Yeah.
you know, because in a lot of kids shows there'll be some guy in the background, or later on someone will mention, "This is what's happening," you know,
Mm-hmm.
like in Ninjago, right? He's reached his full potential.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be told.
Yeah.
But in this one, they didn't have to do that.
Right.
So the song is sung for the main character, Templeton. His parents sing him a song,
Mm-hmm.
and it's his song.
Right.
And then the baby comes in, the parents sing his song to the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. And then, so he's angry about that throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a part where him and the Boss Baby are working together. They get in a fight, and he sings the song to himself
Mm-hmm.
to console himself.
Right.
And
at
then,
the airport.
so it's like, this is my song to help me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then, finally, at the end, when the Boss Baby is in baby form, he can't move, the main character uses his song
Right.
to help someone else.
Right.
which I thought was really actually cool character development compared to no training wheels, needing training wheels to not needing training wheels, whatever. I mean, that's the only character development you have.
Yeah.
And then that one came in later,
Right.
which was much better, you know, using his song to help someone else. And then you didn't have to have the Boss Baby wake up and be like, you used your song for me, you know?
Yeah.
He didn't have to say that, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm. It was really cool. Yeah, I agree. I actually wrote in the corner up here with a little star next to it, "Look up song," but
Blackbird?
I don't
by
know
the
the
Beatles?
song. I don't even know the song.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
why
had
he
no
made the
idea.
joke, the Boss Baby made the joke that was like, your parents are Paul McCartney and the other dude. Yeah, sorry guys,
Yeah.
we're movie guys. Everyone else is gonna know that song.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, my bad.
But yeah, speaking of songs,
Mm-hmm.
ever since that movie came out, I've watched it back when it came out in the theater
Right.
with Whitney, our little
Mhm.
sister.
Mhm.
And I have one of the songs saved on my phone because the music's by Hans Zimmer.
Right.
So he makes really good music, and I've been listening to that song every once in a while.
Mhm.
What, you know, the one riff that comes in over and over again.
I don't remember, but
Yeah, I just noticed those things.
Yeah.
It's the same riff used at different moments, more intensely, less intensely, more silly sometimes, things like that. But it's good music.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, going back, I guess to the payoffs and the songs and what they both want. I guess the character development, right? On the surface level, I wrote down, I guess at the end of the movie, I just put like surface want, like what each character wants,
Mm.
right? On the surface level,
Okay.
or at the beginning of the movie, right? And Templeton, right, the kid.
Yeah, I don't even
right?
know his first name.
I don't know his first name either. I just
I know
remember
his
the
Leslie.
baby.
His middle name is Leslie, and his last name is Templeton. I don't remember his first name.
because the baby always just says Templeton.
Yeah.
Right. But for Templeton, I put he just wants both parents' loves only, right, for himself. That's his surface level want,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or he just wants both parents, right? And for the baby, he wants a promotion,
Mhm.
right? He wants the corner office with the gold toilet that's to himself with a big window, so that he can be like his idol, big fat baby something or other,
Super colossal.
super colossal baby.
Yeah.
But then I put under it real want for each character, and it's the same, right? They both just want love or recognition,
Mhm.
right? And so when you're talking about the payoffs, the promise and the payoffs,
Mhm.
right? Or the character development, right? The development is coming into that, realizing that this surface want is actually not important. Or it is important, but it can be done at the same time. Because the promotion, he doesn't actually want the promotion. He just wants to be recognized and loved and cheered on.
Yeah.
right?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like their deeper want was filled by each other,
Right.
rather than their surface
Right.
wants, which was selfish.
Right. They thought it could be filled by this surface want promotion or
Mhm.
both parents giving him 100% of the time.
Mhm.
Right. But the deeper level was it could be fulfilled by a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting about the it had a brother connection, but
Mhm.
also since he was a boss,
Yeah.
it was almost like a parent and son connection at the same time,
Yeah, that's true.
which was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see those tropes in other movies as well, where the parent always just wants to work and go for the promotion or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they just kind of mixed the two.
Yeah.
And it worked
It's
really well.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I kind of wrote my notes in scene order.
Mhm.
I don't know what you did. You just,
Random.
Right, yeah. I just, so that I could remember the whole movie. But, let me look at this. I'm trying to remember. Never mind, I don't remember what I was going to say. There was
Okay,
something.
we can talk about Tobey Maguire,
Oh, yeah.
because randomly he was the voice for the adult.
Yeah. Which actually
Templeton.
worked so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because there's at the end of Spider-Man movies,
Mm-hmm.
there's he does a outro,
Right.
voice outro,
Right.
and so when he was doing the voice outro for in this movie, it just
Mhm.
felt the exact same.
Yeah. Felt like the end of a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because I don't think he's been in much else. It's like Seabiscuit, Spider-Man, and then randomly the voice in The Boss Baby.
Right. How did
It's
he
like-
get that job?
and why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked really well, though. I'm glad they chose him because he actually was so good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's got that good. Yeah, it worked.
Because it didn't feel like too adulty throughout the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. It felt like a kid.
Still sounds young.
Right. It still sounds young, and I know it technically he was a narrator as Templeton as a dad or when he was older, right? But it's still, from the way he told the story, it was a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
It felt like a kid.
Well, his voice is high.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine like Morgan Freeman or something?
No.
It would not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His voice works.
Right. Exactly.
Let's talk about the blurring the lines between what was real and what was not real.
Yeah.
Because we had a debate after we watched that.
Right.
We both watched it with my wife and your wife.
Mhm.
And
I think we somewhat agreed. Right.
yeah.
Right. But our wives did not.
Yes. Well, we didn't know what was real and what was not.
Mhm.
And I think it's not meant to be a question
Yeah.
in the
Right.
movie.
Exactly.
But I did end up asking myself that question, and I don't think it was purposeful. Because there's other movies where the fun of it is to ask, oh, what part of this was real and what part of it was not.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen so many memes and videos of after an intense movie will come out,
Mm-hmm.
like The Joker.
Yeah.
There'll be videos where it will say top 10 theories of what happened in The Joker or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
And then one of the theories is always the whole thing was a dream.
Right. And he just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they are trying to go for this at all
Right.
in this movie,
No.
but we still ended up asking that question. It's like, what's real and what's not? And for me, what was real was when it was the normal animation they had, and then when it was fake imagination, they added like color
Changed
over
color.
it and
Mm-hmm.
a different hue and intense animation, which also means that the Boss Baby is actually flung from a car
Yeah.
through a window.
Right. Well,
That happened in this
yeah.
movie.
Yeah. I guess what I felt like is the movie set parameters,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what you said, when it changed color and different hue and whatnot, that was not reality,
Mhm.
right? And so when it was reality, I didn't even question it, right? I just like, oh, a baby flew through a window, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't even think about that. Because within the movie, they set those boundaries, right? So I was like, yeah, in real life, obviously, a baby's not going to fly through a window and land all cool and whatnot. But within the movie, I just knew that was reality in this
Yeah.
movie, and that was fine. Like I didn't even think about it.
But then the only thing that messed up that distinction was that one little scene they had when Templeton was grabbing onto the back of the car that the Boss Baby was driving, and it was all intense, and then it pans back into the house, and the parents are looking out, and it says, "Oh, the boys are having fun," and they're going slow.
Right, they're going really slow.
So that was the only part where it was like, wait, I thought we had this distinction.
Oh, that's true.
I thought we had this distinction,
I didn't think about that.
but I guess we don't. So
Yeah. Well, and the beginning too, when the Boss Baby first walked in, right, where he's like, my parents said I had an active imagination, but I swear I watched the baby come
Yeah.
in on a taxi and just like walk in dancing,
yeah,
like like that one also didn't make much sense because we saw her pregnant belly
yeah.
the scene before.
So we don't know.
So I don't know how he came to be.
We don't know.
Then again, they also had powers to erase their memories, so I don't know.
Well, I don't even know where babies come from. So
Right.
who knows?
Yeah.
The movie didn't answer the question for me. One more thing,
Mm-hmm.
and this might become a regular thing
Yeah.
because, at least in the last video we made, I had the gripe about the son pulling the mask off the father's face when he's about to die, and he's like,
Right.
"Oh, what are you gonna say?" And then
And then he dies.
yeah, and so like, will there be a movie without any of those gripes? That's my question. Because there's always something that I'm watching and I'm like, and then something happens, and I say that was stupid.
Right.
Oh well,
Right.
But
Like your
but
dad wouldn't die if he didn't take off his oxygen mask.
right. But
Yeah.
is there any movies without those tiny gripes? So we're gonna find out. But this one does have one.
Yeah.
And it's when so we can call it gripe session.
Okay.
So it's in this one when Templeton is pouring his milk, and the milk fills up and then spills out, and then
Mhm.
it cuts over to the parents talking, and it cuts back to him, and the milk's all clean. That's my gripe.
Oh yeah, because it's just gone.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
clean it up.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like in the Amazing Spider-Man, where one scene he's got lettuce in
Yeah,
a
the
sandwich and it
lettuce.
switches and the lettuce is
I
gone.
remember that too.
Yeah, that's great.
So
It's like what?
it's distracting.
Yeah.
There are movies without gripes,
Right.
so
You think so?
gotta bring it up. I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's a hard thing to make a movie.
Yeah, I think everything will. Yeah. I remember one thing. I think your wife mentioned the rocket ship at the end. I think that's what made her question what was reality and whatnot. Just going back to that really quick,
Mm-hmm.
because that was almost a gripe too.
Mm.
Because it didn't at any point, like with when the parents looked out the window and said, "Oh, look, they're getting along." It didn't at any point pull back and show that it wasn't a rocket ship
Oh yeah.
delivering dogs.
Right.
Right. Like it was a legit rocket ship, according to the parameters of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a gripe to me as well after she mentioned that.
Mm.
Because there's a lot of things that fit within the parameters, right? He jumped over a train, didn't question it. Baby went through a window, don't question it, right? But a rocket ship, for some reason, delivering dogs, like, just makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
And then it is a kids movie, right? The fact that he put the parents underneath the rocket ship so that it would blow them up.
I didn't even think about that.
Right. Like they were going to die.
I didn't even think about that.
And which is a little far on my end. I feel like for kids, maybe not all kids. Well, yeah, they did, because it's like, I'll make them disappear and like crushed cookies in front of them, right?
Yeah.
That felt a little extreme to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah. So just the blurred lines between what the reality and what was not reality.
Right.
But overall, great promises and payoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome animation.
Mm-hmm.
Good voice acting. Lots of fun. I actually laughed out loud and smiled the whole time.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it was
So,
great.
that doesn't happen a lot. So
Makes me curious about the TV series. Guys, comment
Yeah.
down below if we should watch the Baby Boss TV series.
yeah.
I haven't heard much about it. have to let us know.
There you go.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's your challenge comment. And we decided last time that we should get 10 subscribers per video.
Mhm.
So this is our second one. So we need to be at 20 subscribers. That's our goal. So subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Like the video. Let us know how we can do better.
Yeah. And maybe we'll watch something recent next time, but maybe not. No promises. Subscribe
We have
to find
creative
out.
control.
There you go. See ya next time.
Sweet. Thanks, everybody. Bolted Rose.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was fun.
I'm gonna press stop recording.